If King David is not a formidable opponent, no one is. What he pulled in this chapter, the slick and trickery that he pulled on King Solomon nonetheless, fucking amazing. Like, this is what's making David already look like he might go up there in the list of top villains, because he just pulled the wool over Solomon's eyes. That Magi greatness time, people. So the chapter starts off, and some of my prediction is slowly but surely coming to fruition. Setta's on the streets guarding. He's the one that stood behind to guard their place, their pretty much base. And Tess is there as well. We get a little bit of the regret, and to be honest with you, I really think that some of these actions are foreshadowing for my prediction from last week, with Tess and Setta being victims of King David, and which will ultimately lead a lot of these people like Ithnan, Wahid, Falan into depravity. Because Tess is kind of like, I didn't mean to say that to mommy and daddy. I love them. I want to see them again. And what more messed up way to end that whole picture with their son dying after hearing words from him, basically saying that he hates them and he hopes they go to hell. Like, if Shinobu was going that route, it's a dark route, but nonetheless it's the story she's trying to tell, and oh my gosh, it's gonna be fucking dark. Very interesting though how all the people on the streets are praying and they're looking like, please God, protect them and protect us all and everything. And at the same time, the whole thing that David was saying last week is that we're gonna kill God right now, Solomon. Come, let's kill God together. So they're praying in a sense to who they're basically up against, if David is indeed God or he has some sort of connection to God. So that's very interesting to see that they're praying to what could be their enemy or connection to their enemy. Arba, down ass bitch. No one can tell me otherwise after what she did in this chapter. The darkness, you can see that is in her heart. It is embedded deep in there after what she did in this chapter. The action she took against what she thought anyway, what she believed was King David, just rushing in there, fucking putting a staff right through his mouth. The way she did that, the carnage, the way that she just brutally did it with a smile on her face, you can tell that there's something seriously fucked up in Arba's head. At the very least, I think that is huge foreshadowing that if she hasn't already, she will fall into the depravity. And again, Shinobu throwing us off the trail, like, it makes me think, well, could this be hinting that she's Gyokuin? Like, how dark can you get? And the thing is that she showed no remorse. She has a smile on her face and she tells Solomon, this is what, I was meant to do. I was meant to protect you and help you. And you can see that she was doing that in her own weird way. Very fucking weird and twisted. I want to kill him so that Solomon doesn't have to. I don't want Solomon to have to taint his hands, fuck up his heart and his mind by having to kill his own father. So even though this will crush me because she was a magician created by David, so in a sense, that's also a father figure to her. Let me do this and take the dirt and take the pain so that Solomon doesn't have to. And you can see that she cares greatly for him. Maybe she does care for him in a romantic way as well, but she felt like Sheba should do it. This is, I'll give it to Sheba since she really wants it, because at the end of the day, Arba, even though she has clearly some fucked up issues, she's a good person as well. So very interesting characterization just thrown in there that Arba is very dark inside, and just clearly showed it. A father figure to her, she just ran in there and stabbed him with a smile on her face. If that doesn't show that there's something wrong up here, or she's fallen into depravity, what will? And I just gotta say, Arba, amazing woman. And the thing is, we get a little bit of foreshadowing for some events and some setup for some events later to come, because all of them, after King David gets stabbed and all his people is basically killed by Arba and her people alone, they turn into those little dolls, and we've seen Althaman in our time turn into them. So this could be some setup for some things that people are going to learn along the way. Maybe Arba learns this, maybe Arba already knows this. Same thing with Ithnan, because I believe Ithnan turned into that at some given point, and then Sinbad killed it. Again, I get confused with the anime and the manga, because I know the anime changed some shit up or whatever, but we've seen this before. So this is definitely something that either they're going to learn, some of these people, again, whoever is there, because, a lot of these people are there. So we still can't even say, well, Arba saw this and Sheba did it. So maybe this is indeed that she's Gyoko and she learned this right here, because they were both right there in the room. So maybe either of them learned it. Maybe Ithnan took note of it. Who knows? But definitely that is some set up to something that's going to be used later on for Althaman. And then bam, they realize that they fell for King David's trap. Like, can you just say it with me? King David for the motherfucking win. Like, this villain, this hardcore villain, used their own plan against them. Their plan was to ensnare him inside of there. He can't go nowhere. The magic barrier is all around, and done. Boom, they got him. And he knew what they were going to do and flipped it on them. I'm just curious, like, because it's obvious, we know during this battle, at the very least, King David will fall Solomon. How will he get out? Will he bust out of that barrier? I'm guessing what it might take to get out of this barrier is the secret to tapping into the Rook. And pretty much that's going to be the power. I don't know how he's going to do it. Ugo's going to have to come up with a way, but he's going to have to tap into the Rook in order to bust out of there, because then David, like the cruelty, because this is showing not only how tactical he is, that he flipped their whole shit on them, but how cruel he is, because he goes to their home base and he's slaughtering him, and the Orthodox are slaughtering their people. And once again, my theory pretty much, or my prediction from last week, it looks like it's coming to fruition. The one person there with the divine staff, Setta, I'm pretty sure he will fall, and this will make Ithnan fall into depravity. And the little kid, Tess, like, is Chernobyl gonna go that dark, kill a kid? I know at the very least she's gonna have him hurt, maybe. At the very least, the little kid's gonna get hurt, and definitely that's gonna strike their heart. But if he does die, my gosh. But then again, you never know. Maybe this little Tess kid could be someone we know in our timeline. Maybe that could be Judal. Maybe that could be someone. Who the hell knows? Although Judal did have memories of his childhood, so. And ultimately, a great chapter setting up that, before we heard a lot of things about David. We heard that he's great, he's a great magician. But had he just got killed right there by Arba, while it would have been sick and twisted on Arba's end, it would have felt like, then what was the fucking point of King David? He was hyped up and he just got slaughtered by one chick. The fact that he was able to flip all this, deduce that this is what Solomon would come up with, flip it on him, go to his home base, start killing his people with all the Orthodox, like, this is proving indeed that King David ain't nothing to fuck with, and I'm loving it right now. I'm fucking loving it. If I had to say any complaints of this chapter, is that it ended. So let's recap real quick. Advancement with King David heading towards their base and attacking them. Locking Solomon and them up, which is most likely, again, going to force them to have to tap into some sort of power, again, possibly the Rook, in order to get out of that magic barrier, which by the time they do get out of there, what's going to be left of their base? Arba's characterization, pretty much you can see that there's something clearly dark in there. If she hasn't fallen into depravity already, she will at some given point, because that was just like, she was with a smile. All of the Orthodox, well, what we thought were the Orthodox, actually were those dolls. So that's definitely set up and foreshadowing for what Al-Tharman can do. And ultimately, David just flipped the whole script on King Solomon. Great fucking chapter. 9 out of 10 for this bad boy. Really left me thinking, like, just how the hell they're gonna get out of this. And again, it's foreshadowing a lot of events, characterization. It was just like, Chernobyl, thank you for bringing it back. It's like, I am excited about Al-Mataran again. But let me know what you guys think. First of all, has Arba already fallen into depravity? Is it just that her psyche is so fucked up at this point that she felt she was doing a good deed? Again, she had a smile on her face while she did it. Also, how is Solomon going to be able to get out of the magic barrier and go over and defeat King David? We know King David will at the very least fall in this battle. In the grand scheme of things, maybe he will return in our world. But at the very least, he will fall in this battle. How do you think it's going to happen? Will King Solomon, break out of there using the Rook and go over there and just slaughter his father? And will Setta and Tess bite the big one, which will ultimately lead Ithnan, Wahid, and Falan to fall into depravity? And just so overall thoughts of this chapter, Magi greatness is back, baby. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, do that already as well. That'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.